Associates would like to take a brief moment of your time to felicitate our special guests and participants. To begin with, a special thanks to Shri Mmhonlumo Kikon, Honorable Advisor, Information Technology and Communication. Next, Madam Kavita Sharma, CEO of Indo British Business Forum. Shri Principal Secretary to the Chief Minister, IT&C and Power. Mr. Arjun Sharma, Senior Digital Development Specialist of the World Bank. Mr. Rakesh Kumar, MD, KR Projects and Maestro Technologies. Mr. Kishore Shah, CEO for SPOC, HUP and ESDS Group. Mr. Keto Nagi, Proprietor, MS Ramietch Solutions, Nagaland. Mr. Nichite Golo, CEO of Entrepreneurs Associate, Nagaland. Thank you. May I now invite Mr. Xavier Benio, Youth Pastor, CRMC Kohima, for the invocation prayer.
Very good morning to all of you. Let's all look to God in prayer. Gracious God, our loving Father, we thank you for this wonderful day. Father, as your word says, acknowledge me in all your ways, and you shall direct our paths. Father, we acknowledge you this morning, that you are faithful, you are good. And Father, we thank you for this wonderful event and wonderful time you have given us. Father, we pray that today you will use the resource person to impart grace, knowledge, wisdom to all the hearers, all the people that are here. Father, we thank you that you're going to bless us through your people, through the resource person, and use this event and make this event a fruitful time, a productive time for all the people here. Father, we thank you for all that you're doing in us right here and you're going to do through this event, Lord. We thank you and we give you all the praise and all the glory and honor. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, sir. May I now invite Shri K.T. Vizo, Principal Secretary to the Chief Minister, IT&C and Power, to deliver the welcome and keynote address.
Respected Shri Mmhonlumo Kikon, Honorable Advisor IT&C and Communication Science and Technology, New and Renewable Energy. Respected Srimati Kavita Sharma, CEO, Indo British Business Forum, United Kingdom. Mr. Kishore Shah, CEO of Sport Hub and ESDS. And Mr. Arun Sharma, Senior Specialist, Digital Specialist from the World Bank. Senior officers from the State Department, dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I thank the Almighty God for giving this wonderful day. This year, in this e-Naga summit, we have gone through a lot of hurdles. Initially, we planned to have a resource person from Singapore, Portugal, Estonia, United Kingdom, Mauritius, and Japan to have a collaboration effort, especially in this research sector. But it so happened that some resource persons are able to be ready, whereas others are not. And while trying to keep all the things together, we got a little bit lost. We had planned in 7 November, where 3 were willing to come, and then the others will not come. So to facilitate, we have shifted to 12. Again, then it got disrupted. Now we have planned, shifted to December 14th. And this, we initially wanted to bring this Indo British Business Forum, resource persons from other countries also, and want to involve this Indian Chamber of International Business, where they're supposed to bring some few ambassadors. But there were problems in all these initiatives, and ultimately we have few with us. These are the God-chosen people. We are grateful to God. In the state of Nagaland, this information technology has picked up very late. In fact, we are one of the last to have picked up somewhere in 2014-15. The department was created in the year 2004, but budgetary support and other initiatives were not much there. Since 2015, we were organizing this e-Naga summit to promote e-governance culture in the state. We did have a lot of hurdles. Initially, we tried to create awareness among the politicians. Secondly, we tried with the bureaucracy. Then we tried with the entrepreneurs and business. And all of them were successful. But the most interesting part is that the youths, when we started involving the college students, the youths, we got a huge response. You will appreciate that. Nagaland is one of the states which is most active in social media. And if you see the youths today, they are ever ready to take up the e-governance and IT sectors. That shows that we are on the right track. Now, to bring this information technology and e-governance culture, which is related to promotion of transparency, accountability, and efficiency, is not only dealing with technology. We have to change the mindset of the people. We have to bring about e-culture. We have to change the society. We have to change the work culture in the bureaucracy. And that's the toughest part. Technology is available. If we have money, anything and everything can happen. But changing the people, taking the society along, the people along with you is the biggest challenge, and that's what we have seen. And through the initiatives of e-Naga Summit in the last few years, we have made a lot of breakthrough. The government of India itself, the highest government body, the Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievance, the RPG itself has acknowledged the government of Nagaland as the best performing state in this state portal and e-governance for the second consecutive years. We also have received awards from Indian Express, not at the northeastern level, but at the national level for enterprise applications. That shows that the government, the people, the youth are not ready to embrace e-governance and move ahead with the rest of the world. This year, we have chosen the theme of the e-Naga Summit towards promotion of secure digital services and investment opportunities in the state. This we have chosen because investment, whether it is from World Bank, from Asian Development Bank, or other agencies, and for that matter, even the corporate social responsibility (CSR) has been restricted so far only to few sectors like education, health, forest, to some extent agriculture. And if you see the CSR initiatives, every company, even the IT companies, they want to do only in education and health. Recently we had a CSR conclave in which the Honorable Union Finance Minister came. A lot of IT companies came to Nagaland, but none of them were interested to invest in IT sector. So we were wondering what is wrong with the companies in India? What is wrong with their mindset? The youths in the state of Nagaland, they are as talented as anyone else in the world, I should say. In fact, IT culture, computer science, electronic graduates are now available in plenty. Our youths are doing business with even foreign countries. In fact, there's music productions, some are doing with Germany also, some are dealing with the UK, and people are willing to export software, doing graphic designing. So we are at par with the rest of the world as far as the IT sector is concerned. And you would appreciate that the state has also adopted a tall vision of making the state of Nagaland the next IT hub of Southeast Asia. We are dreaming to be as good as Bangalore or as good as Hyderabad. And the awards we are receiving in this shows that we are making a lot of headway. In the case of this digital services, a lot of digital services we have already rolled out, and we initially faces these hurdles from various departments. We are still trying, and we wanted to put as many departments on board in the digital services, and we are succeeding. But in this digital age, not only throwing the services, but it has to be secure and safe. That cyber security and other aspects are important. So we are also equally concerned with the secure digital services. And with all the participations, cooperation from all of you, part of the society, willing to embrace e-governance, willing to move to transparency and accountability, we are not losing hope. We will win. We will overcome someday. Regarding the investment sector, there are a lot of scope for investments, not only IT sector, in the agriculture sectors, in horticulture, in education, in health, in power sectors, a lot of opportunities, and so far we have not have serious players willing to undertake investment in the state. Towards this, I should thank the Indo Business Forum, CEO Madam Kavita Sharma, a totally stranger to us. We have communicated only internet, and she was daring and willing to come to as far as Nagaland and telling our people yesterday, the Chief Secretary and the Development Commissioner and others, that the Indo British Business Forum is willing to invest in billions. But for us, we have not seen even millions, so let's be satisfied if we get few also. But she is very serious and committed. She went to the extent of telling the ministers in UK to play a video conveying the greetings and telling us what the government of United Kingdom is willing to do for the state of Nagaland. I think it will be played very shortly. So in the investment sector, we can say for the first time in the history of Nagaland, there is a serious player willing to invest in the state. She was telling yesterday, not only with the state government, but with private companies who have sufficient turnover, she's willing to discuss the matter, and maybe after this program, the business, I think you are available in plenty. You can discuss extensively with her and see that we do some meaningful collaboration in the near future. Towards this, I would like to tell Madam that Britain is a country which is so dear to the state of Nagaland. British and Nagaland together have defeated the Japanese in the Second World War in 1944. And since then, our engagement with Britain has never stopped. Every year there are a lot of visitors from the United Kingdom, and they are engaging with our people socially for a very long time. For the state of Nagaland, we can say economically we are weak, but in the social capital, we can have two capital. One is social capital, the other is the economic capital. In the social capital, we are as strong as any other country or state in the world. We have a very strong social bonding, and you can see that in spite of not having any big industries worth mentioning, there is no poverty in the state. You go to any villages, the citizens, they'll smile, they are happy, and the best part is, if you meet a Gambara, a village chairman, or any old people, they talk with confidence. That confidence I don't see much in the mainland and other parts of the world. So here is a place where the social capital is very strong, people are confident, the happiness index is high. A little bit of investment, if it comes, it can help change the whole scenario. So towards this, I would like to request the World Bank also, who came at a short notice, to take serious note that investment can happen in a big way, and the people are ready to embrace that. And in this program, I would also like to mention that two resource persons. One is this Chris Rose. He's a film producer of Trigger Fish International Limited, United Kingdom. He has reached up to Kolkata. I don't know for what reason the customs have denied him entry in Nagaland, but from Kolkata he's going back. It's a very sad story, but God willing, with the Indian British Business Forum here, will bring him back someday. And our other resource persons, Eric, sold him 6 Executive Director, United Nations Environment Program from Norway. He also could not come. We will place that for the next program in future. And our local resource persons, this Nitsuto Dole, CEO Entrepreneurs Associate Nagaland. We had extensive discussion in the last 2-3 days, and we all agree that it's high time that Nagaland products should go global. We should do serious business, quality business, and he has brought a lot of his colleagues, so we are so glad to see that. This Ramietch, this Kedonagi proprietor, he has been with the IT department for quite a long time. He also brought quite a lot of his enterprise associates. And after this program, we are going to have further rounds of discussions with the Indo British Business Forum and the World Bank and other these companies that Kishore Shah, CEO, Sports Hub and ESDS, they also turn up at a very short notice. We had a meeting with the Chief Secretary yesterday, and we will look forward to take up meaningful projects with them in the years to come. With this, I once again welcome all of you, young and old, and wish the program a grand success. Thank you, and may God bless you.
There's so much more. Windows and walls and doors. It's a warm embrace where a smiling face is waiting you. Home, where there is no night. Home, where the sun is still alive. The place I've been dreaming of so long. Loved ones there to welcome me, but his sweet face will be the first I see. When my journey's over, I am going home. I've been dreaming of so long. Loved ones there, but his sweet face will be the first I see. When my journey's over, I am going home. When my journey's over, I am going home.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. This is my first visit to Nagaland, and we have some messages from ministers of United Kingdom for Nagaland. So is it possible to have that video from the minister?
And telecoms. So by working together, we can shape the global ecosystem as we develop the next generation of technologies. In the UK, we're understandably proud of our own flourishing digital economy. We have a world-class digital infrastructure, a data-driven economy, and a pool of UK and global talent. We have a thriving startup scene and a vibrant investment community. We also have more tech unicorns than any other European country. We're a world leader in AI, semiconductor chip design, and quantum computing too. New figures show that more than £12 billion has been secured in venture capital funding by UK scale-ups and startups so far this year. This puts the UK just behind the US and ahead of China on funding secured by tech startup firms. By working together, the UK and India can be greater than the sum of our parts. We already have a thriving trade and investment partnership in which trade will grow even further once we finalise the UK-India FTA. We collaborate on defence and security and work hand in glove to tackle the most pressing global health challenges. We both have a reputation for innovation and a passion for technology, which is present throughout our work together. The Secretary of State for the Department of Digital, Culture, Media and Sport, my department, spoke last week at the Global Tech Summit in Delhi, setting out how together our joint work on tech will be a force for good in the world. Our two countries have already agreed to take our relationship on digital, technology and cyber to the next level as part of the UK-India Strategic Partnership. And this is part of the 2030 roadmap, which was agreed by our respective Prime Ministers in May last year. In April, the previous Secretary of State for DCMS and our Indian counterpart, Minister Vaishnaw, moved a step further in that partnership when they signed a joint declaration of intent on digital and tech. As part of that, we'll be launching a strategic tech dialogue in 2023 to allow for blue sky thinking and meaningful, mutually beneficial partnerships across the full tech spectrum. At the same time, we welcome working with India on its 2023 G20 presidency. We'll work across a set of ambitious key priorities that are crucial to today's digital economy, from public digital platforms to increasing digital skills. Given the changing world around us, we also hope the G20 can prioritise how we use these to tackle global challenges such as climate change and pandemics. We firmly believe that the ongoing success of UK digital and tech sectors depends on a dialogue between government, industry and other key international stakeholders. Our vision is designed to make space for creativity, engagement and innovations with leaders like you. I hope you have a great summit. Thank you.
Namaste. It's a real pleasure to address this august gathering, and I am extremely grateful to the Indo British Business Forum for your incredibly tireless work to strengthen links between India and the United Kingdom. As an economic and tech powerhouse, a security ally, and a long-standing friend, India is a natural partner to the United Kingdom, and our partnership is ripe with opportunities as we look to a very bright future between our two countries. Our countries are working ever more closely together to drive forward innovation and come together in tackling global challenges. The scale and pace of technological development we are seeing today is indeed unlike anything we have known before. And these developments are fastly improving many areas of our life, including our shared prosperity, our health, and indeed our well-being. The collaboration between the United Kingdom and India on COVID vaccines rolled out 1.5 billion doses and has saved millions of lives globally. And we're now building on this partnership to tackle other public health threats, including malaria, and indeed preparation for any future pandemics. Our governments continue to invest together, importantly in scientific research and innovation, to come together to build a greener, more sustainable future. We've put more than £300 million into research and innovation programs since 2008, together with our partners. And this has brought more than 250 individual projects involving over 100 in industry, companies, and 175 research institutes together. And we're adding more to that list all the time. Through the India Science and Innovation Network, scientists from both countries are doing incredibly valuable work to monitor seawater pollution so we can better protect humans and indeed marine biodiversity. We are also working hand in hand on the Global Innovation Partnership, co-investing in climate and health innovations from India to transform the lives of people across Africa, Asia, and the Indian Ocean. And I also know that both governments, and indeed everyone in the room today, are keen to see our joint collaboration on technology go even further. As the Foreign Secretary for the UK, James Cleverly, highlighted at the Global Technology Summit in Delhi, we will launch our first UK international technology strategy next year. India, as the world's largest democracy and a powerhouse for tech talent and ideas, will be front and center. To show we mean business, we've also established a new young professional scheme, which will open early next year. This will allow our brightest talents, including within the tech sector, to benefit from a new professional and cultural experience. But we want to go further, to encourage more tech talent to work and study in the United Kingdom, which is why we have also established the Global Talent Network in Bengaluru last month. This will allow UK businesses and research institutes to identify and attract the very best of professionals in key science and tech sectors. Together, the India and the United Kingdom will build a free, secure and prosperous future for all our people, harnessing the transformative power of technology and drawing on the wealth of shared talent we have. Therefore, let me thank you, and may I also extend my very best wishes for a very successful summit.
Hello, my name is Tim Lawton. I'm a Conservative Member of Parliament in the United Kingdom Parliament here at Westminster, and alas, I'm unable to join you in your Anglo-Indian Business Summit in India this week, but I wanted to send my very best wishes and to emphasise how important it is that we can get a UK-India free trade agreement as a matter of urgency. It's one of the most important trade deals we're currently negotiating. Now, India has always been one of our strongest and closest trading partners. We currently have trade worth some £23 billion between our two countries, and that amount could easily be doubled in the next 10 years with a free trade agreement. India is one of the fastest growing, most dynamic economies in the world, destined to be the third largest economy in the world in the next 20 years. 1.4 billion consumers, and the possibilities of great job growth and investment opportunities both in India and UK if we can get this trade agreement over the line. Particular opportunities around green technology, around financial technology, and in old favourite some of the drinks and food stuff, not least whiskey, where I know there's a lot of a big market and a lot of interest in India. So huge opportunities we have if we can get this trade agreement to work. I always quote the figure that 1 in 12 people on this planet is an Indian citizen under the age of 28. India is one of the most exciting economies in the world. It's where the future is, and where many students have been coming to the United Kingdom to study and share their great talents as well. And we want to see more of that, and a free trade agreement could include greater academic and student links as well. So it's really important for all of us in Parliament. I hope you can make progress towards that as part of your conference this week. And in the not too distant future, we can formalise a full free trade agreement between the United Kingdom.
But Indo British Business Forum, we are an opportunity-based forum. We look for opportunities and bring investments to India. UK government and Indian government, they are signing one free trade agreement which is worth £52 billion. First time UK fruits will enter India without any duty. So vice versa, for bilateral trade, we can bring Nagaland fruits to UK also. Like you have kiwis, pineapple and dragon fruit, the main ones. Another sector where we'll be interested in investing is power sector, renewable energy. Third sector which we might consider is climate control. Though Nagaland is free of pollution, but still there is a lot of to be done. Basic infrastructure is not available. Traveling from Dimapur to Kohima, halfway road is very good, but still we need further investments for clearing the roads. There are other opportunities also available for the young entrepreneurs and small and medium industries they can meet me in person and discuss their details, and we can have one-to-one meetings to see what investments we can bring with them for Nagaland. I would like to conclude my speech here and look forward to meet you in person, one-to-one, to discuss the investment potentials. Thank you.
Thank you. A very good morning to all of you, our special invitees and guests from outside. Srimati Kavita Sharma, CEO, Indo British Business Forum from the UK. Mr. Nitin Agarwal, Arun Sharma, Kishore Shah, and Rakesh Kumar. I would also like to make special mention of my old friend Nichite Dulo, who is an inspiration to many in Nagaland and across Northeast as well, a social entrepreneur, an Ashoka Fellow, and we know so many awards, and also the CEO of Entrepreneurs Associate. I am very pleased that you are part of this entire event. I know you will make a meaningful contribution to the discussions that we'll have in the day. My Principal Secretary, KT Wizo, and all the officers of the IT department who have worked tirelessly over the years to ensure that our place in the information technology sector is secured. Our friends who have come to attend this event, and my friends from the media, of course, who have always been very supportive and has covered our initiatives extensively in the past as well. I would like to begin by saying that this is the last e-Naga summit of the 13th Legislative Assembly, and I've had the privilege of attending almost all the summits in the past. We've had people coming from across the world to Nagaland, sharing not just their ideas and programs, but also participating and engaging with the state government to ensure that our objectives in the state for creating not just e-governance or IT culture, but enabling us to take advantage of the huge opportunities that IT sector brings in. Today, as our Principal Secretary has already mentioned, the theme has been designed to address the specific needs of the state in this time towards promotion of secure digital services and investment opportunities in the state of Nagaland. Before I get into my the theme, I would like to just make small mention of the progress we have seen in the past 10 years. And for those who are coming to Nagaland for the first time, like the entire citizens of Nagaland have not seen a 4-lane road in the state till today. It was only under the initiative of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji that Nagas are today seeing a 4-lane road. And the investment in the road sector by the ministry through the special purpose vehicle called NHIDCL, which is the National Highway Infrastructure Development Corporation Limited, is in terms of 15,000 crores in the entire state of Nagaland. For a population of 2 million, where the challenges are not just lack of funds for road construction, but the natural disasters that happen here because our mountains are fragile and there are a lot of natural calamities, and also because our terrain is such that the design in the ministry for mountain states like ours has not been in accordance to the need of the region in the past. But even to address that, policy changes have been taken into consideration. These have been taken into consideration for policy changes. Today, any amount that comes is it caters to the need and requirement of this region and the difficult terrain. You will be aware, you will be amazed that today we have a first ever tunnel being dug in Kohima for road construction. And there's a firm from Uttarakhand who is doing that in Nagaland. So these are projects which have been sanctioned by the Prime Minister with the hope that it will connect Kohima as the capital with all the district headquarters, and we would be able to reach across all these areas within a short time span of 3 to 4 hours. So that is the development that is taking place now. I'll give you a small example. For me to go to Imphal from Kohima, it will take nearly 3 hours. And for me to go to Myanmar border to Noklak district, it will take me from Kohima around 7 to 8 hours. So that has been the past. Today, the road construction that is happening in all the districts is going to ensure that we reach the district capital headquarters within a span of 3 to 4 hours. So connectivity is improving with the investment. Rome was not built in a day. And in the past, the state has been neglected majorly. But after Prime Minister Narendra Modi came, every corner of Nagaland is being connected. We are also a state where we have seen, the success of tap water connection to every household. It's very high. Now, in the past, there were difficulties and challenges in that sector as well. But because of the investment made in the state of Nagaland, we are seeing a lot of changes in the rural sector. So Kohima, as you know, is the capital of Nagaland, but we have the the commercial capital, Dimapur. In Dimapur itself, we have seen 2 4-lane highways coming within the town, the entire Dimapur district. Now it's broken into 3 districts. But all this happened within a short span of 5 to 10 years. And these changes we are seeing with our own eyes. Only after 2014 we have seen. In fact, in 2003, the former Prime Minister Vajpayee had come to Kohima, but because of weather condition, he could not come by chopper from Dimapur. So he took the road from Dimapur to Kohima. And he said, if this is the best road in Nagaland, what will the other roads be like? So he decided that he will sanction this road. But the next 10 years, he lost the election. BJP didn't form the government after that. So next 10 years was the Congress government. They didn't sanction even a penny for the state of Nagaland. So we have been fighting hard. Why are people so eager, earnest, and why are we looking forward to more development in the state? Is because it is not just words. Action has shown that development is taking place step by step, brick by brick in the state of Nagaland. So this is the progress we are seeing today. So we are very hopeful. And as a citizen of this state, we are very happy that a lot of things are taking place. But coming back to the IT sector, our Chief Minister's vision to attract investment in the state has ensured that a lot of events like this are happening, and where we engage not only with our citizens but with also experts and companies from other parts of the country who come and also collaborate with the state government to identify our gaps, to incubate ideas, and then to devise solutions to the challenges that we face. Some of the example, for instance, in August of this year, we've had the Nagaland CSR and investment conclave. No less than Srimati Nirmala Sitharamanji came to grace the event, and in the process, she made very important points. One, of course, to the credit of our state, she acknowledged the depth of talent that is there in Nagaland in the IT sector, and she said she will marry that with the investment opportunities, and she will personally ensure that companies come and engage with the people here, especially in digital marketing, IT and ITES sector, by also identifying that this is the future of our economy. Today, as we have this e-Naga summit, I would like to draw your attention once again to some of the achievements of the government of Nagaland in this sector. In fact, the IT department and our initiatives have won various accolades, as Principal Secretary has also mentioned, but I would like to mention 3 special awards that we got. In 2022, this year itself, we won the Indian Express Group and Express Computers Enterprise Application for Innovative Best Practices in E-Governance Award. So that was a major achievement. It was an all India level. It's not, the hill states or small states, but it's an all India level. We won that award. And in 2021 again, under the National E-Governance Service Delivery Assessment, Nagaland topped in the state portal in the Northeast and Hill States category. Since the media people are here also, I just want to mention one instance. Just last 2 weeks back, the editor of Murung Express, a popular newspaper here, called me up saying that, the Nagaland state portal is down. So when I spoke to our officers, it was rectified immediately. So there is now confidence in the people that once they bring such issues to our notice, we are able to address it immediately. Because it is also our commitment to our people that we will address all such issues whenever it is brought to our notice. Or even if it is not brought to our notice, even if when we notice it, some of the technical hitches are there, challenges are there, but we as a government has made it a priority to address all such issues as soon as possible. So in 2019 also, the same Nagaland National E-Governance Service Delivery Assessment gave us the #1 spot in service delivery in the Northeast and Hill States category. So our state's vision of making Nagaland the next IT hub, whether in the region or in the entire Southeast Asia region also, is not just an ambitious attempt of the state government, but it is because we have confidence in our own people and our own state, and we feel that now with the achievements of the IT department in Nagaland, we are very confident that we are ready to take on any new initiative. I'll just mention 1 or 2 reasons why. Under the e-district project in Nagaland state, we have already enabled 47 e-services, and all the departments' websites are hosted in the state data center. In fact, the Nagaland Public Service Commission is fully online, and we have what is called the inner line permit. For instance, you are a UK citizen, you come to India, then you need another inner line permit, not only for yourself, but for even other citizens of India. So even that, we have made it easy now. You don't have to go and visit our Nagaland houses in Delhi, Kolkata, but you can access it online. So all these services are provided, and it has hugely enabled and helped our citizens and visitors who wants to come to Nagaland. So for instance, the Nagaland Public Service Commission website. In the past, people will come 6-7 hours from the Myanmar border to come to Kohima to collect the form and fill up the form. Today you don't have to do that. You can do it online. So you don't waste money to travel, nor to find a place to stay in Kohima. So for people in the interior districts, it has hugely benefited them, and it's ensured that we no longer have to go through the same old problem like in the past. And there is a efficient management of government employee and salary dispersal through the personal information management system, which has been created by the IT department. Besides having developed our own common scholarship portal for the students, which has eliminated various loopholes like duplication of scholarships, which existed in the past, and delay in payment of scholarship, leading to transparency and accountability. So 10 years ago, this was not there. Now we have it. So there is a very visible change in addressing the concerns of the citizen, and this has been enabled through IT services. And therefore, there can be no two opinion on the importance of enhancing the work of IT department in the state of Nagaland. For those who are not aware, our Union Minister Shri Chandrasekharji had come and inaugurated the Software Technology Park of India in Kohima, which is housed in this building itself. So the STPI has been designated by the government of India as the Center of Excellence in computer graphic application. And we are very happy to state that some entrepreneurs and some startups are being accommodated in the center. There is an active mentoring going on, the mentor being identified by the government of India. So we have few challenges in terms of governance in the state of Nagaland. One is attendance of the government servants in the various offices. So for even that, we have implemented the biometric attendance system in all government offices in the state capital. It is another story that people will want to avoid using such applications because many are technology shy. Or I would not want to use a harsher word, but there are truants and there are people who don't want discipline, who want to still stay in the olden time where you want to get salary without attending offices. So those challenges today are being addressed, and our state departments like Power Department have already implemented the ERP system in their day-to-day works, and I think most departments will come forward in the days to come to implement those. We have, as a state government, embarked on various programs to enable and empower decentralization and startups, which has led to tremendous returns in terms of exposure, participation, product development, and manufacturing in the state of Nagaland in collaboration with all state government departments and agencies. So this is one of the areas where we can work together in the future. And I'm sure our government will actively pursue all the discussions we've had with all of you. We will follow up and we will follow through. So rest assured, any issues, any problem that you face, we are here to support, and our intention is that our collaboration should benefit our citizens, and our citizens are also eager to work with all of you in the future so that we create a better Nagaland for a better India. I have seen that the increased adoption of e-services in the state has enabled us to grow, and there is a need actually to transform our applications from on-premises to the cloud, and for which I think ESDS presence is appreciated. I've had conversations with Samir, and I feel that with their experience with STPIs in other places like Bangalore, Kolkata, Mohali, I feel that your engagement with the state of Nagaland will help Nagaland grow. And there are gaps which I've already discussed with you, which you have to identify, and our officers and our state government will collaborate with you to identify those, so that we bridge those gaps, so that we come up with solutions which will address some of the gaps that we have. Because you see, basic infrastructure is coming. As I said, Rome was not built in a day. Development is an ongoing process. There is no end to the word development. But the best thing about IT solution is that it will bring in a lot of change in the state of Nagaland. It will make and create greater efficiency in our delivery of services to the people. So government is therefore very focused and very clear about our priority to use IT services and all the platforms available to ensure that development for all is implemented successfully. So towards that end, you would have noticed that the government is approachable. The government has come forward to accept all great ideas. It's not just a big project. We're thinking of small solutions, smart solutions to small problems as well. For instance, during the lockdown, our IT department was instrumental in ensuring that we give free Wi-Fi at least to the citizens of Kohima. And during the lockdown, after we successfully implemented that, we saw that there was huge traffic. Many people were using our hotspots to get free Wi-Fi. And it enabled a lot of people to communicate, in spite of the challenge they had. But it enabled people to use that service positively, proactively, and it helped the well-being of our citizens. So that kind of, it's a small project. It was a pilot project. But suppose there is somebody, some IT company which wants to invest in Nagaland, say that they want to create free Wi-Fi everywhere in the district capital. There are new districts which have been created. And so, and towards that end, if we have, through this e-summit, an opportunity to explore what are the visible, doable collaboration we can have. Government of Nagaland, I assure you, will fully support that initiative. And we can collaborate on, all the digital services and, now, because there was one attempt in the past, my officers told me that there was a cyber attack on our state's data, but we were able to secure our data. We are one of the few states in the country where our officers from the IT department have been personally trained in Estonia, which is known for e-governance. And we have taken initiatives which other states have not imagined. But there are few challenges, for instance, in the social welfare department. So we want to ensure that there is we enable this in the old age pension scheme. We enable the e-services. It is not happening now, but we hope that it will happen. It will cut a lot of fat, and we will be able to deliver that service properly, because now direct benefit transfer is on in many departments. So in terms of reaching out to the rural mass through the use of IT services, we have already taken flight. Now the challenge is to ensure that every citizen of the state benefits from the services we provide. So that objective has not been met as yet. So towards that end, this e-summit, e-Naga summit, I feel will address some of the challenges we have. Will also bring out, because I've seen in many such occasions where discussions are had on the problem challenges of the state, many are still, they miss the whole picture, because they're all, they're all engaged in their own petty, small issues which are not enabling them to look beyond themselves. So in a setting like this, I feel that the discussion would be broad, meaningful, would, at the end of the session, we should come up with actionable plans and for discussion, and for which I assure you on behalf of the state government that whatever actionable plans that you propose at the end of this session, because I will not be there in the next two sessions, I'm sorry I'll be missing those important discussions. But when we are there, you will not be able to, discuss about the problems. Therefore, I want to stay away. But I would want that actionable plans be proposed to us, and then further follow up, for engagements be proposed. Niste would know that whatever he and I have discussed, I have ensured that the state government listens to great ideas and good proposals coming from him. I'm sure you will attest to that. But having said that, this is the spirit, and the present dispensation is willing to accept actionable plans based on the realistic assessment of the current state of affairs, and we will take it forward. There is no way the communication will stop between the government and our bright minds. So with this, I want to wish you a very happy e-Naga summit, and I want to encourage all of you to participate actively. Think that you are the great minds of our state. Think that in this discussion you will be changing the state you are living in. Don't think that the responsibility lies only with the state government. So if you think like that, we will ensure that everyone is involved in this great development story of Nagaland. Thank you.
This is working. Can you hear me? Okay. Thanks. Good morning, everybody. And thank you for staying back this post-tea session. My name is Arun Sharma. I'm Senior Digital Development Specialist at the World Bank, based out of New Delhi. I've recently joined the World Bank. I was earlier a government servant. I was Officer on Special Duty to Minister of State for Information Technology, Mr. Rajiv Chandrasekhar. Before that, I worked with the Cabinet Secretariat. I was a Director of the DBT mission in the Cabinet Secretariat, Government of India, and several other postings. So it's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be talking to you all and meeting everybody. So this session, two sessions have been combined, as you heard the various speakers in the morning. And the theme for this e-Naga summit is the theme that we'll be addressing in this session: secure digital services in the state of Nagaland. Investments, I think Mrs. Kavita Sharma had spoken a little bit, and advisor had also spoken a little bit. So we'll focus more on the digital services, and I request the speakers that will be coming up now to focus on that, with obviously a linkage to the investments that can be made in Nagaland. So if you heard the advisor's speech and the principal secretaries before that, I think the larger premise has been set on what are secure digital services. If I were to ask you, how many of you don't have a smartphone? I think today that will be an exception. Is there anybody in the room that does not have a smartphone? If you'd like to volunteer. So, if you have the old feature phones that doesn't have any data. So I think it's reasonably safe to assume that everybody has a smartphone now, and a smartphone is a very powerful device. So what the various forces, government, private sector, and everybody is trying to do is reach into your pockets through your smartphones, because that's the first personalized device that you have on you. And of course there are newer things that are coming up now. There are watches, wearables, eyewear, lenses, if you were to go a little ahead. And they will keep getting better and better in software, in hardware. You have AR, VR. And you, I see a lot of young faces in the crowd, so you will be the force that will be either using this technology or will be driving this technology forward. And this is the larger point that we are trying to make through the various sessions and the speakers who will be addressing you today, that how to make more and more services available. The companies that cracked it earlier, e-commerce, Amazon, everybody has heard of. Here you don't have the taxi services such as Uber, etc. But if you go down to Delhi, you can't do without Uber these days. So democratization of services for everything. We came up with a concept of shared economy earlier, and now it's gone much beyond that. I don't want to get into the realm of crypto, etc., but everything is within your reach, in your palm, through your phone. And this is what we are trying to do. So the advisor, if you remember, had made an example, a reference to one service of the Nagaland State Service Commission, that people used to travel from Myanmar border to fill up forms, and now it's online. So in the next 4 to 5 years, things will even go a step ahead of that. So any service that you want to avail would be possible through apps. There are already apps that are there that are working on it. They'll be customized, they'll be made available to you, and it is not going to be us who are there, it will be you who will be doing that. And the basic of computation, compute technology, algorithms are there in every subject. Even if you're studying arts or commerce, I think the basics of computers will be there in every field. In biology, you cannot escape it today. that is our future, like it or not. That is, artificial intelligence is here. We'll see it more and more. Newer emerging technologies that are still in the labs as of today, we'll see them more and more. What we can lay the foundations of is ensuring that these are secure. They do not take your data away, they do not take your consent away. You have the power. That's all we can ensure through laws. And that's the next point. The first point was around having the connected devices in your reach. The second thing is, how do you govern them? So you have the set of data laws that are coming up now. I don't know if anybody is a student of law. So we're discussing IT, we're sitting in the information technology hub. Would anybody know, we have, basic quality, everybody understands. We have a union list and we have a state list according to the Indian Constitution. So the subject of information technology, does anybody know where does it lie? In the state or in the central list? Would anybody care to guess? Sorry? No, actually it does not find a mention anywhere. It's such a new subject that the IT is not anywhere in the constitution. So what that means is state governments are free to formulate laws on IT and the central government is free to formulate laws on IT. So the constitution will eventually be amended to bring IT into the central list because it is a critical subject, just like defense, just like railways, just like postal. These are all central subjects. So IT will eventually become, because what we're dealing with IT is data. How does government take your data? What do they do with it? How does a company like Amazon or Google take your data and treat that data? They monetize it. But do you get a part of that revenue? Do you get a part of that? If you use Google Maps, Google knows where you're going, with which frequency are you going, what is the traffic on the road, and then they use it to sell it either anonymized or not anonymized to various companies. But as a user, do you get a piece of that revenue? No. Should you? Of course. So this is the basis of Web 3.0, which is already in play. And how does it come to us in a larger society is a subject matter of law. So the central government is framing laws in this. The state government, few state governments have done that, Tamil Nadu, Rajasthan, etc. And various subjects of it. You have things like online gaming, which is another segue of the digitized world. But larger laws and governance is missing as of now, but will come into play. So that's the second step. The first was the connected devices. The second is the enabling regulatory mechanism and laws. And then the third is your consent, basically. You as a service, you as a user, you as in the center of everything. So this is where we put them all together. We come to this subject. And I'll now open up the floor to the speakers in this session. The first person, I would request Mr. Kishore Shah, CEO for Spock Hub and ESDS Group. He's from Nasik, Maharashtra. Now request him to address the session. Mr. Shah.
Thank you, Arun. Respected dignitaries and all wonderful audiences. Thank you so much for giving us an opportunity to talk here. This is my first visit in Nagaland, and it's a wonderful state. One of the state, I think, is very high among the happiest index in the country. And I can see a lot of young entrepreneurs sitting here, people working a lot on the entrepreneurship culture. So at ESDS, we believe in entrepreneurship model, and as a result, we are very eager to work with government of Nagaland, and as a part of Spock Hub initiative, which I am handling currently. So it is SaaS PaaS on Play. There are basic vision is to connect all the entrepreneurs, connect all the innovators to one platform, and the innovators, whatever innovations they are doing, whatever the activities they are doing for various sectors, we bring them on cloud. Cloud is something which we are specialized in, and from last almost 2 decades, we have been closely working on that. We've got patents on cloud technology. We got patent from UK, US, and India on cloud technology. So through that, just to give you a brief, as I mentioned, we are present in the industry from last 2 decades, and we're closely working with state government, central government, and currently we are present in 19 countries. And today, as of today, we are touching the lives of almost 55% of India's population through various initiatives which we are doing. Like Arun was just mentioning on the security side, secure digital services. So one of the world's largest smart meter solution, which is running in the northern India, that is completely managed on the cloud of ESDS. So we are the pioneer in getting empaneled with Government of India, and we are the one who believes that Indian technology can do a lot of things, and that's why we have created a platform called Spark-Up, where we invite all the innovators to work together and bring transformation, bring change in the state and the country. So what I will be talking today about is what all things we are doing, what kind of secure environment which we have created, because it is very essential for any digital services which we are going to offer. Like one of the mission statement of ESDS is to connect with 1 billion devices in a secure manner. So it's a very big vision, very tough, because a lot of things, as Arun was just mentioning, like we have been tracked on a daily basis. Like all our smartphone, everything, whatever we are doing, even if we are thinking of something, the players, the Googles of the world will know what we are going to do. So how do we secure that? And localization and all those things are very important factor. So we as an organization are a responsible organization, and another mission of ours is to positively transform 1 billion people in the country. And as I mentioned, we are already touched 55% today through various banking initiatives, various e-services. Like one of the things which I'll be just mentioning in brief, one of the initiatives where we have transformed the entire planning committee of few states. So that also we are working with the government here, and we are talking about how do we together work and transform all the services. So this is just a snapshot of what we have been doing. I'll not take much time here. So these are certification which is very critical for cloud. Every day a lot of new challenges keeps on coming, and as an organization we need to continually evolve. Technology is something which every day we need to do, mitigate the different challenges, and that's the reason we have to work on a lot of compliances. And one of the things which we are closely working with STPI, nationally strategic tie-up we have done. So today the entire Bangalore data center is completely managed by us of STPI. We are also taken over the Bangalore, this Mohali data center. We are closely going to work here as well, and few other almost 65 data centers which we are talking with STPI today. So this is a certain reach which we are the largest in terms of cooperative banking, BFSI segment, all the network of banking, SOC, all those are managed by us. So today we have 400 plus customers in that space. Few of the key governance initiatives, like I'll just touch upon few of the things like IIBF. All the banking examinations across the country is complete. The entire registration portal is worked by us. Our application, our R&D team is closely working with their team to make it complete, secured, this thing. Any gap, any loophole here can create a big this thing. So we have been managing that successfully for over a period of time. Then, as I mentioned, one of the largest smart meter solution, ESL, is working on that. We are working with various 5 other players, but the entire cloud solution is managed by ESDS in a responsible manner. Then SIDBI and IPAS, I'll be touching upon few things, and tourism sector, which is again going to be very key important thing in the state of Nagaland. We believe in agile methodology. I'll not spend here time. So this is another important thing where how we work with the government. As Principal Secretary Sir have mentioned that software is one part of it, cloud is another part of it, but the most important part is the implementation, changing the mindset of people, making them use these services so that we can enable the other citizen to use it effectively. So that is where we play a very critical role in terms of getting the entire implementation done on the ground. So that's the reason like we have been closely working with a lot of state government and central government. In fact, one of the project we are working with World Bank also. So that is something which we have been able to specialize over a period of time. And I was also mentioning to the advisory sir is that we can, like a lot of young entrepreneurs are working here, youngsters are there. In fact, we are looking for a lot of talent. You guys can, we can collaborate further on that, and we can enable you guys to work on various solutions and make it more implementation successful in the state, because it is all about collaboration. So that is what our belief is. So these are the few initiatives where we have transitioned the entire legacy system, like across states. A lot of government initiatives they have taken. A lot of there are government agencies, and they have worked on various applications for the government. Now what we do is, as I mentioned, from legacy to modernize. So few of the projects which I mentioned here, there were already solutions were there, but then we made it more effective by implementing this. So few are the initiatives like IPAS, Integrated Planning and Automation System. IPAC, this is a new initiative which we are working with government of Chhattisgarh along with World Bank. Then Kempa Fund, it's a Accomplished Forest Kempa Fund funded by Central Government of India, and the Maharashtra Tourism. So I'll just give you some glimpse of what exactly we have done here. So this is what about IPAS. So here I'll just give you a thing like Maharashtra. I'll give you an example of Maharashtra. They have 36 districts, and initially the activity like all these MLA fund, MP fund, the entire budgetary work used to take, the entire flow used to take almost for one file was taking almost 40 to 45 days initially, just for sanctioning, and post that another few number of days to get the entire implementation, sanctioning completed, and then giving it to implementing agencies. So through the implementation of this, it has come down to, there is a drastic reduction in number of hours taken to process the file. Sanctioning of file is almost come down to 2.5 days. So it has helped the government a lot in the COVID period, where the transformation has happened quite effectively. Again, it has a lot of work. It is not only technology. It was more about implementation and collaboration, which we work together with the government and the people. So the entire sanctioning of work till giving the work to implementing agencies, monitoring that work, then entire financial management. Budgeting, like today also a lot of people have to work on Excel and all. So everything is monetized, completely computerized here. The entire project management, budgeting, financial management with your FMS. I believe in Nagaland we use FMS. So all those things we've been able to do it successfully here. So the important thing is the Chief Secretary, the CM can see everything in a single dashboard. So that was something very important, because to take a decision, it is very important that we collect all the information at one place and in a very secure manner. Like people, you can see one of the mobile app. People working on the field also, they have been able to track it easily, very simple thing. And the device is also very securely connected with the cloud. So all the work which is happening can go into the system, and at the top level people can see it, and all the people who are working can effectively do their productivity in terms of taking the service to the citizen. I'll just play one small video just to give you the scenario what was there in Maharashtra and how we overcome it. It's a very small brief video. I just want you to see that. about technology, again, lot of small things have been done, and citizen was involved into this. So, and the most important thing is security, because if the security is not there, entire thing will get collapsed. So, various robust digital services needs secure management. That is very important. So that we have been able to do it here, and we are running this successfully for over a period of more than 5 years now. And similarly, we've implemented in few other states as well. Just to give you, I'll not take time here. This is another project which we are working along with World Bank for Chhattisgarh. So it is more about initiative where proactive governance can be done. So where the people of citizen of the state can know what are the schemes applicable for them proactively. So, and how secure, like with the access of Aadhaar card and other information, how proactively we can take the scheme to the ground level. So that is something which we are working on the e-governance side to governments. So how we work is, our team closely work with the department, understand their situation, because every state has a different work environment, a lot of things are there. So we, through our methodology, through our analysts, we closely work with the government and take things to the next level. This is another initiative, again, it can relate to Nagaland, where there are a lot of funds which are coming from central government on Campa fund. So how do we make it very simple and make very effective for the implementing agencies, various schemes. So this is another important aspect which we have worked, where a lot of new technologies are also in place. Again, any devices or any new technology, drones and other things require a secure management. So that is what we specialized in. We are one of the very unique company where we take care of the infrastructure side also, which is a very different ball game. The software side, which is another different ball game. And more important is to get on the ground level, understand from people, collaborate and implement and execute things. This is another case study of tourism. Again, can relate with Nagaland. A lot of scope is there on tourism side. So we took this challenge and worked very closely with the government and created an entire CMS module to give more and more information for the people across the globe. So almost 16 different languages are being incorporated into this tourism portal. I'll just take to the next interesting area where if you can just create another presentation here. So this is a very unique thing. I'll just take a few minutes. Agriculture. I think sir was mentioning people, the technology companies have to come on this and create some kind of effect here. India is an agriculture economy, and more so in Nagaland, a lot of people, almost I think if I'm not wrong, more than 70% of people are part of the entire ecosystem of agriculture. So we've been, as I said, one of our mission statement is to work in the positive transformation of 1 billion people, and agriculture is one of the very important segments. So almost like more than 50% of overall India's population dependent on this ecosystem. So we gathered all our knowledge, all our expertise on the cloud side, on the application side, and on the banking side, which is, like as I said, we have 400 plus banking community with us through Banking Community Cloud, which is one of the largest in the country. So, and they have the largest exposure on the agriculture side. So what we did is, we have created a complete ecosystem now where all the innovators in the agriculture side can collaborate, can come into this and help the farmer towards prosperity. So that is our mission in Farmroot. So we are thinking of how we can contribute the farmers' income, and everything is possible through digitally hand-holding the farmers through technology. But we can't replace the work which they are doing, the knowledge which they have, but we can handhold them through technology. So through that, we believe that this is quite possible. So what we have done is, I'll just go to the problem statement. These are the certain problem statement. When we went on the ground from last 4 years, we've been working on this. And we thought if we are able to work on this, definitely we'll be able to achieve the mission which we have stated for Farmroot, along with all the people, collaborate with people and create an impact. So this is what we are doing. We are working on smart technology. All the new technology, AI, ML, blockchain, like we have been one of the awardees recently we bagged one award for AI, ML on healthcare side from Aegis, which is one of the reputed organization. So there we have got an award. So that technology also we have built in agriculture. We have tied up with ICAR, which is a respected body. We have tied up with Rahuri Institute of Agriculture, which is a very well-known agriculture institute in the country. So we are giving them smart technology and we are taking their help on the research side. Because we are not an agriculture company, but we are a technology company. So we are enabling them and putting it to our system. Predictive analytics. So a lot of things we are doing. One of the unique things what we are doing here is we are not depending on communication system of any international organization. We have created our own system, Enlight Meet, where the data and everything remains here in India, where people can contact each other through that medium within the ecosystem. We are working with the government in terms of few state governments. We have already started working on this, wherein they will be able to see all the things the government is doing for the agriculture economy and under a single dashboard. So that is something which we are working on. So basically this is the entire glimpse of the ecosystem which we are building, and you all guys can also participate in this whenever you, as you are already working. Some of you guys are working in this incubation center also. If you have some idea, innovative things which you want to do with the agriculture, this is the platform which you can easily get into this, and we can ensure you take to the market. That is what our thing is, because alone ESDS or alone nobody can do the entire thing. It is all about collaboration. So that is what we are working on agriculture. So we are connecting the farmer with the buyers, the sellers, the entire logistic platform we are giving them, the communication platform we are giving them. Our aspiration is to connect all our 400 banks with the farmer. If farmer needs any kind of financial assistance, they can just click and the bank can communicate to them instead of farmer going to the bank. Similarly, we are working on insurance side also with insurance company to get into very different, like weather-based insurance on a detailed level. Typically what happens in the country today also, people are working on a different kind of insurance where farmer has to run for the claims. Here the kind of technology we are building, there is a claimless claim settlement. That is what we are talking about. So again, we are working with a few central agencies and taking their help to get this implemented. So this is something our vision is. Here we are integrating all the different technology which can make this ecosystem effectively. Again, just last, I just want to mention, this is just a snapshot of this thing, farm with agro ecosystem. So here we have taken utilization of all the GIS system also. We are integrating drone and all. But again, as topic talks about today, digital security. So this is something very important and it's very well taken care here also. And just to give you a message, any governance or anything we are going to do, it is all circle around security. But if it is not secure, then it will not be an effective e-governance which we will be able to take to the citizens. And through our patented technology and security, we are talking with the state government also, and we are here to collaborate with them to make the cloud more secure to run this different kind of an application. So thank you so much, and I'll be available here after this also. If you have any questions, we can discuss on that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Shah. He's seated here, and I'm sure he'll be available for lunch if anybody wants to have a discussion with him. Next, Mr. Nishute Dolo. I request you to come up, and he's the CEO for Entrepreneurs Associate Nagaland, but they're actively engaged in all the northeastern states. So I request you to come up and address the session. Thanks.
Good afternoon, friends. I want to thank the Department of IT for giving us this opportunity, and I want to thank our friends from Indo British Business Forum for making your time and visiting Nagaland and coming to explore investment opportunities here. So it's a great opportunity for the entrepreneurs of the state to find out, explore if we can do business together. And I thought the progressive government of Nagaland state has given such an opportunity for us, and I hope that we will make the best use of it. And so today I stand before you with pride to share on some of the opportunities that I feel would be good for investment. There would be many other opportunities of investment that is possible, but I know that these are some of the things that we do, and I'm going to speak mostly on agribusiness. Although in the beginning of the year 2000, we were involved with funding of the first computer and IT businesses in the state. And in fact, we were the first to fund e-commerce in the state, like 10 years ago, or to be precise, about 2014, 2015, 16, when no banks were willing to fund e-commerce platforms, we did it. And so we have some share of experience on why technology should drive our economy. And so this e-summit is something that can bring us to talk not just on the technology platform, but on the agribusiness as well, because this is what the country needs and what Nagaland needs as well. But before I get into it, I want to just tell you a brief introduction of what Nagaland is. And I keep telling to people that there is something different about Nagaland. I'm one of the standing committee for the CSOs for Niti Aayog. My tenure will end in 2024. And I keep telling at Niti Aayog that they must understand that India is really a nation state. And India is so diverse. And it's such a fascinating place, but if we go with one solution for the entire country, it does not work. And so I want you people to note that there is something different about Nagaland. Why? If you read Harish Chandala's book on the first armed struggle in India, which of course the other day I tried sending through Amazon, but that was not allowed. So there is something different about Nagaland, and what you have experienced about the visa issue, I will not go into detail, but there is something different about Nagaland. And therefore, when you come to invest in Nagaland, I tell you, today the way that we have progressive government at the state level and at the central level, a lot of things are changing, a lot of things are opening up, and I am proud and I'm grateful that the government of India has made people like us to go and speak with the policymakers in Delhi, but we get the opportunity to meet for about 3 hours, 4 hours, which in fact is huge, but it is not enough to let people know that there is something different about Nagaland. And that is why when we talk about investment, it's really a far cry. We have been pushing the banks to get their business in place, and it's just starting out. You know, in 2003, for the first time, the first mobile call was made by our late Prime Minister Atal Vajpayee ji, and this is the exact statement recorded. Hello, Shri ji. Arun Shri ji was then the Information Minister. I am happy to bring Nagaland on the mobile phone map of India by making this first call to you. That was on 27th of October 2003. And in 2004, after lots of police requirement papers, I got the opportunity to have 2 mobiles, and both the mobile phones are still the same, but my phones are taped. And that is something different about Nagaland. But the point is, from 2004, we started using mobile. By 2002, internet was open to public use in Nagaland. Therefore, for us, when we talk about technology connectivity, Nagaland has got lots of other fears and sort of uncertainties. But I would say the state government and the department under the leadership of our Commissioner, Secretary and the Honorable Advisor, we have made some huge strides. And therefore, today when we talk about agriculture, we have to necessarily talk about hyper-agriculture. I was just wishing this year, if we have hyper-agriculture, this year our farmers would have earned literally hundreds of crores, but we don't have the technology. You know why? For the first time I have purchased cabbage in our farmer's farm at ₹35 rupees per kg in the farm. That was 5 rupees lesser than others because we promote farmers. They were selling at 40 rupees per kilo. And in Kohima, it went up to 100 rupees per kilo. Why? Because Assam had flood. If we had hyper agriculture, where technology could feed our farmers, that in the next 3-4 months, according to the satellite, forecast, there is going to be heavy rainfall in Assam. And if our farmers were prepared and planted cabbage some 70 days ahead, they would have milled crores of rupees. We need technology. And that is why, when we look at today's business, I want to tell you the Entrepreneurs Associates is a bit different. We are 22 years old now. But when we started, we decided that we will not take foreign grants and foreign donations. And so we don't have FCRA. We also decided that we will not be dependent on government funds and subsidies. And that is why today we feel confident to talk about investment. Because ours is investment driven. We have a small finance company. We are a hybrid model. We have 2-3 private limited to aggregate agri-producers. And we work across the state and in other parts of the country. And I want to tell you that Nagaland has faced the British Empire in a very different way. I will not go into details. But the tide of Second World War shifted because of the Nagas. And Nagas did not expect anything from the British Empire. As said by Harish Chandra in his book, in fact, Nagaland, till today, people think that Nagaland is the mother of insurgency in the country, and because of which we still have lots of issues to be settled. At the moment, there is a lot of parleys with ceasefire talks between government of India and the Naga groups. But our lives have to go on. However, if we want to walk in the future, we need to know our past. And that is why I just wanted to tell you briefly that in 1963, when statehood was declared for Nagaland state, the government of India came with a package called Special Economic Development Package, which of course ended in 1989. But the concept was, in those days, during those harsh reality of conflict, which of course most of the Indian public, Indian citizens didn't know, was that most of the Naga villages were raised to ashes. We all know, because I'm sure Sir was even a living witness to it. So what this new state establishment brought was, everything will be done by the government, including roads, schools, and jobs. And so today, Nagas cannot come out of the thinking that we can't understand that why is government not giving us the jobs? We can't understand why government is not giving us the money. We are trying to change that mindset, saying that no, we need entrepreneurship. And even for India, I think for a long time, India was fixated on the idea that government should take care of its citizens. And only recently, or let us say 1991, when Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao and Manmohan Singh was the finance minister, they brought in LPG, liberalization, privatization, and globalization. And today, I think the Prime Minister of India, Modi ji, has taken it to a greater height with Start Up India, Make in India. So the country is changing, but the change that you see with Nagaland is quite slow and small, but we are changing. And so today, if we look at Nagaland, Nagaland is a small tiny state that was created out of that conflict in 1963 with about 16,578 square kilometers. But this is the nerve center for the Nagas living in Myanmar, and the Nagas living in Arunachal, Nagas living in Manipur, Nagas living in Assam. And so what happens in this small state has ripple effect across the northeastern region of India. Why we need investment in Nagaland is, it is in one of the 6 biodiversity hotspots of the world. This is not a joke. Huge opportunity, but for a long time, people in Nagaland have been told that government will take care of your needs, and people believe that modern economy, modern development means getting government handouts. We are changing, but the change has just begun. So we are yet to see it, but I can tell you, if Nagaland was the first armed movement struggle in India, I hope Nagaland will become the first entrepreneurial state in India. And today I want to tell you, why so? Because no state or no people, I would think, is most strategically located than the Nagas or Nagaland state. And why is it so? Because in Northeast India, 98% of the international boundaries is in Northeast India. Only 2% of the geographical area of Northeast India is tied up with the chicken neck, to mainland India, which means our international trade is real. And the whole stretch of Manipur, Nagaland, Arunachal, all falls within this so-called the Naga group. And so, business is real. For me, I know that there is huge opportunity, but if we are to zero in down to certain crops, because I've been asked to speak on Agri-Allied, I want to share on perilla. A lot of people don't know about perilla, but perilla is one of the richest oils that we can get from the plant world. It has got omega-6, it has got omega-3, and therefore it is used in cosmetic industry. And this grows very well across the state. I'll just give you an example. Palm oil is being sold in the market for about 170 rupees per liter. Perilla is sold for about 4,000 to 6,000 rupees per liter. And that is why about 30 liters of palm oil is equivalent to perilla 1 liter. That's the economic resource we have. One of our entrepreneurs, the First Cry company, ordered 5,000 bottles of 30 ml for cosmetic use. And she was not in a position even to supply 1,000 ml, 1,000 bottles. We have lots of opportunities. This is where there is investment opportunity. We have the oil out there. As you go out, you can check it out. We have spicy Naga ginger, which in the academic world was just discovered in 2019, sadly. But we all know for centuries we've been using this spicy Naga ginger. It has been, we have displayed it outside. Interestingly, this spicy ginger can withstand and compete weeds for about 15 to 14 years. And it does not become a proper matured ginger if you don't cultivate it for 2 years. This is the asset for the country. And of course, honey, I don't have to talk about so much, but we also have a special honey which is called the stingless honey. And I'm told during the COVID, it went up to the extent of about 1,000 rupees per liter in the States because it has got a cleansing property for respiratory tracts. And then we have livestock. you can see the picture of Mithun. Mithun is not a cattle, it's not a wildlife as well. So ICAR, we work with ICAR. ICAR has branded it as the cattle of the mountain, but it is slightly different. However, this has got huge opportunity because this is reared in the primary forests. So I will not go into detail because I think we will have opportunity to discuss more on these aspects, but I can tell you with confidence that immediately within 100 days in a small business entity like this, the Entrepreneurs Associates have an absorbing capacity of about 1,000 crores for just Nagaland state. And I will not go into detail. Now you just saw that Perila, honey, livestock, their maturity rate will be about 12 months. Some will be 8 months, some will be as low as 6 months, but 12 months is quite good for investment. Naga spicy ginger, as I said, takes about 20 months, 24 months to fully mature. But we have been doing business with the banks, and the banks invest with us with about 8% to 11% per annum. So in case Indo British Business Forum would like to invest in Nagaland with lesser rate of interest, instead of taking loan from the bank, we will take your investment. And for a group like ours, we can guarantee 100% recovery. And I'm sure with a progressive government in place, the government will even come in to give the comfort, cushion support if there is a need. But I can tell you that shiitake mushroom is just picking up. We tried this some 10 years back. It couldn't really take off. Today we have one of the Naga entrepreneurs who can readily supply the mushroom seedlings. So we have no problem, and we have the right needed wood here in place. We have experimented, huge success has been found. One of the underrated fruits that we have is tamarelo. Unfortunately, India doesn't even have a tamarelo tomato ketchup. In fact, not only India, a lot of countries don't have. It's actually the privy of New Zealand and Australia. So there is huge opportunity for the country to export this type of items for the world, and it comes by default organic. The model that the Entrepreneurs Associates uses is what we call micro by one, volume by mass, because our fragmented land holding system, and as I said, there is something different about Nagaland. We don't have any monarch, we don't have any nobles, so we don't have any zamindars. The entire region that you see, the hills, mountains, is all owned by individuals, not by government. And therefore, all our mountains are preserved by the community, not by the government. And that's fascinating. And therefore, the whole land is being divided to each and every individual. And we thought that is a bottleneck for Nagas to economically grow. But we realized, no, in fact, it is an asset. And therefore, we developed a model called micro by one, volume by mass. I'll just give you an example about Perila. Since we know Naga owned 1 million hectares of land like Australians, or like Americans, or like the Punjabis, we have to take advantage of what we have. So if 10,000 farmers cultivate 1,000 kgs of perilla oil, then we are looking at 10 million kgs of perilla oil. And that's why the equity flow down is one of the most beautiful equity creation in the world, I think. And our Commissioner Secretary said about the social capital. I would compliment and say that Nagaland has the highest social capital in the world. In 2002, when Communitization Act was made and the Chief Secretary called me to his home office for a cup of tea to discuss about it. And UNO gave a citation to the state government. I was amazed at the way Naga society works. And the chief secretary was also amazed why this can be done. And right after him, there was a chief secretary from Mizoram. He told me, we wanted to replicate the village development board in Mizoram, but simply we can't do it. Your social dynamics are different. And I think that is the strength that we have, and we've built upon it. People talk about slash and burn technique, but for us, June cultivation, our forests, the secondary forests that you see around here are all June forests. It's called shifting cultivation. Some people have got good practice, some people have lesser practice, but the June cultivation enables us to live well in the mountains without fully destroying the forests. And so we have developed a lending model called zero cohort loans. And we have experimented both in Nagaland and Manipur with huge success, zero interest cohort loans. And therefore we have our finances in place. We don't expect investors to give us zero interest loans, but we know that if we are willing to be bold and daring, Nagaland can absorb literally thousands of crores to begin with. Although it is not much when you talk about business. It's not even $1 billion as mentioned earlier, but we have to begin somewhere. And one of our visions that we have is to plant 1 billion fruit trees to trigger 1 trillion local economy with a constant price of 2020. And this is possible because this will create 5 million jobs. So when we talk not just about climate change, we know that a lot of host of ancillary industries with planting fruit trees will create 5 million jobs. It will create opportunities. This is the vision that we want the government and financial institutes to work with us. And these are some of the things that, since 2003, we have been financing rural transport, what we call micro logistics. And there is huge opportunity in the logistics business. We already have tie-up with the banks. One singular bank that we have business tie-up is with State Bank of India for 300 crores investment, but we have with various other banks as well. And so one of the key industries that are going to come up is also about insect protein industry, which for some people may be a shocker, but actually Nagas eat a lot of insects like the Chinese, like the Thais, like the Indonesians and Malaysians, and like the Japanese as well, because some of the Japanese also eat, some of the Taiwanese eat. But our food proteins can also become a huge protein for the feed industry. This, I think, is an emerging industry, and this is where some of the young entrepreneurs may like to put in their attention. I want to encourage and I want to challenge the investors who have come here to Nagaland that Nagaland is a powerhouse. We are changing and we will change. And whether we like it or not, we can't stop this change. The government of India has taken this into their book of attention, and that is why today we have so many roads that are being constructed, as rightly said by our advisor earlier. Today, as a group representing tens of thousands of entrepreneurs and farmers, we are projecting before you to start with about 1,000 crores. I hope within 5 years, you'll be talking with one single entrepreneur for about 1,000 crores. And in the next 10 years, today $1 billion seems to be a big and far cry for Nagaland. I want to say that in the next 10 years, you will be having multiple investors who would like to dream to be billionaires. And why is that so? Nagaland has a different story. It has taken about 150 years for Nagas to reach to this stage. Without technology, without connectivity. In the last 15 years, we know what technology connectivity has done. I was so surprised that one gentleman innovated during the lockdown, carrying about 5 kilos of medicines from the Secretariat to the Naga hospital by drone, innovated by a Naga gentleman from Kohima. There is lots of opportunity, innovation that are going to happen. We initiated the first innovation award in Nagaland in the year 2018. And one of the products which is marketed today by our young scientist who is only 28 years of age is organic manure for floriculture. Once they develop for ginger, once they develop for perilla, once they develop for other crops, the amount of organic food that Nagaland can give to the country is immense. If Delhi does not want to buy, we will give it to Singapore, who want to pay higher price. And I am serious about it because in Naga communities, you'll be surprised that people pay fine for using chemical fertilizers. Communities fine 10,000 rupees to a farmer if they are found using chemical fertilizers. We just need to harness our asset and make it marketable. And I believe today's e-summit is making this a possibility. We hope, Madam, you come back many times more. And there is something different about Nagaland. We want to grow with the country. We want to make Nagaland the asset region for the country. Thank you.
I believe there are some songs that have been prepared. Can I request the performers to please come up? Nagi. I request him to kindly come up on the stage and address the gathering. Very good afternoon, everyone. Hearing the other exciting speeches and messages, I believe my topic may be a little boring, but let me do my bit since it's been assigned to me. Well, I'm Kikon and I run a small IT firm called Ramietch Solutions together with a group of very smart, talented, and dynamic professionals. Today, I am honored and privileged to be speaking on a topic, secure digital services in the state of Nagaland, which is a very important topic in the IT industry, and perhaps it is one of the biggest concerns for anyone who uses technology, computers, or mobile phones. This topic is actually very vast, and due to the shortage of time, I will be touching only on a very few basic aspects which I believe are important in the context of Nagaland. To begin with, let me highlight my presentation for the next 15 to 20 minutes. First, I will be giving an overview on the introduction of digital services in our everyday lives. And secondly, I will be touching upon the current scenario of digital services in the state. Thirdly, I will highlight some security threats which are relevant in Nagaland and which are common in the digital world. And lastly, I would like to share some insights on cyber safety, how to prevent or mitigate security threats, security attacks. As you can all see, we can see that in the program, lunch is approaching, so you all must be hungry. So I'll try to be very brief and finish my time as brief as possible. Okay. Okay, so introduction to secure digital services is can be broadly classified into these categories. Government, that is the various digital services offered by the government to the citizens. Business, the digital services availed by the businesses or offered to its customers. The individuals accessing the digital services for personal or business use. So while the COVID pandemic has exponentially accelerated the growth of digital services, it has also increased the looming threat of cyber attacks manifold. Digital services provide access to things of real value
which can be personal information like your name, your date of birth, and also it can be your passport. So this, the usage of digital services has increased manifold, so the security threat has also increased. So it's very important to have a secure digital system, because when a service is compromised, the fallout can be damaging, and it can be expensive, and it can be also embarrassing for the organization or the individuals affected, and it can be potentially catastrophic for those whose data has been lost or it has been leaked. Okay, next slide, I will be touching upon the scenario of digital services in Nagaland. We have over 100 plus online services offered by various government departments, mainly the IT&C department, which offers a lot of e-services to the public, to the businesses. Many of the government departments' websites store critical information pertaining to the official documents which are confidential, and data breaches can severely impact the government, as well as those information can be leaked or lost. We have about 80 departments, almost all of which has its own websites or web applications, which may be either developed in state or using central ministry applications. The state data center, all these government websites are hosted in the state data center. This state data center is a state-of-the-art secure facility, and it is operated by the Department of IT&C, and it has been upgrading over the years. For any government website, in order to host in the state data center, it needs to undergo a process called security audit, which is a comprehensive security assessment to certify that it complies or it is free from all the latest threats. Coming to business, we have lots of business which are increasingly using the internet these days due to GST, or it can be banking, or it can be other accounting software for fulfilling their compliances. So digital services are increasing a lot for businesses as well. With so many schools and colleges which are dependent on one or more online presence in one or more form, these websites store critical data of the students, so they become a prime target for hackers. And Nagaland, with a young population, increasing internet usage among young and old, there are so many targets and victims of cyber attacks and cyber crimes. Now I would like to highlight the most common types of security threats, which are also potential threats that Nagaland faces. Cyber criminals have got so smart and so adept at sneaking dangerous code into computer systems. There are, different ways. It is an ever-evolving process, and no matter how the security systems are put in place, the hacker will find some means to put the virus in the computer or in the systems. So common types of virus or common types of security threats to be aware are malware. By definition, a malware is a software that once installed, it infects the computer by stealing information or by destroying data, or it can conduct virtually any behavior an attacker wants or a hacker wants. Virus is a specific type of malware that once infected self-replicate itself to infect other programs, other software, files or system. Trojan is a special type of malware that appears to be a legitimate software but infects and conducts malicious activity in the background. DDoS is a malicious attempt to disrupt the normal flow of traffic of a targeted server with the intent to overflow the traffic jam, basically jamming the traffic to the server so that the server cannot be reachable. Ransomware, it is a very dangerous type of malicious software that is designed to block access to a computer system that is infected, and until a sum of money is paid as ransom. Spam is basically the constant and random messages sent over the internet that you receive in your emails for the purpose of advertising, phishing, and spreading malware. Phishing is the fraudulent practice of sending emails or other messages claiming to be from reputable companies in order to induce the individuals to reveal personal information such as passwords, credit card numbers. I would like to highlight some of the examples of cyber attacks. One is the ransomware attack of the Costa Rican government in April 2020, which crippled the country and it had to declare a state of emergency. The attack targeted nearly 30 institutions of the Costa Rican government, including its Ministry of Finance, Science and Technology, the National Meteorological Institute and their state-backed internet service provider, and many more organizations. COVID block, it happened in 2020. This was a ransomware that disguised itself as a coronavirus tracker, and once it is activated, it locked the phone and demanded $100 in Bitcoin to unlock the phone. WannaCry in 2017. This is one of the worst ransomware attacks in the history, which was introduced via phishing emails in 2017. It is estimated that more than 2 lakh people have been affected by this ransomware, including hospitals, universities, and even big organizations like FedEx, Nissan, Renault. The losses caused by WannaCry exceeded $4 billion. And this Instagram scam, vote for me scam, this is a common scam in Instagram where a friend may send you a message asking you to click on the link to vote for them. And when you click on the link, your account gets compromised, and then the cycle repeats to all your friends. That is how it has the chain reaction, and it can infect a lot of people. Okay, coming to some ways to prevent cyber attacks for government, businesses, and banks. The fundamental cybersecurity rules remains more or less the same for all types of organizations. I've just highlighted few important steps which every organization must follow to stay safe from cyber threats. Security audit of all the critical applications and systems. This is very necessary for any organization. Regularly upgrade software and update all the plugins and patches. Taking regular backups and performing scheduled maintenance from time to time. And implement and enforce identity management systems across the organization. And it's always important to invest in reliable firewalls and enterprise network security systems for the organization's network infrastructure. Online and cybersecurity threats are here to stay. We must constantly keep our digital systems updated and optimized to prevent any future attacks. Organizations such as businesses and government are the prime targets of cyber attacks because there is ample incentives for attackers to gain financially. So it is very important for government and organization, can be any organization, big or small, to invest in cyber security to secure their respective organizations. I would also like to share some of the ways to prevent cyber attacks for individuals. So first and foremost thing, any account that you have, it's strongly recommended to use strong passwords, especially those created from password generation tools which are readily available online. Also, the two-factor authentication, enabling the two-factor authentication is very important, and this is available on most websites and applications. Especially for your critical accounts, it's very highly recommended that you enable the 2FA. When it comes to free software, it's one of the highest medium for spreading malwares. So before downloading any free software, research on the software and the website hosting it. Ensure that the software publisher is verified, and ensure that you download the software only from the genuine website. It is also important to note that any URL that you get in messages or in emails, to carefully note the URL and click on the links only if you are absolutely certain that it is a genuine URL. For accessing your bank accounts, bank website, it is preferred to manually type the URL in the address bar, and never access it from an email or a message or from Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. And also never click on links or download attachments from suspicious emails, even if such emails look like they are from a known source. Avoid clicking on tempting offers like money scams, hoaxes, malware warnings, etc. And it's very important to ensure that your apps, your software, your computers, your phones are regularly updated with the latest versions at all times. Install a trusted antivirus and anti-malware software. and use social media smartly, avoid sharing a lot of information, personal information unnecessarily, and with the social media platforms, there is the security and privacy policies which are being updated from time to time. So it's very important to follow on those security and privacy features and update the latest, enable the latest features. It's important to take regular backups of all your important files, irrespective of all the security, all the preventive measures that you take, because cyber attacks are becoming more rampant, and it's always safe to have a backup. In conclusion, I would like to reiterate that digital services will continue to accelerate exponentially. And although there is always the threat of cyber attacks looming around us, there is a glimmer of hope, because government and cyber security agencies are really working round the clock to secure digital infrastructure from breaches. And education and awareness on cyber security are of paramount importance. It's very important to educate the masses on the cyber security, cyber safety matters. And every individual is responsible for maintaining cyber hygiene, which is very important in this vast interconnected world. With this, I would like to conclude my presentation. Thank you.
We come to the end of the summit, the discussions for today. And I think the only thing between lunch and you is last performance, last song for the morning. So I request the next singers to come up on the stage, and then we'll break for lunch.
Good afternoon. I hope everyone is having a productive session. I am immensely happy and honored to be here today, performing one of my favorite songs, which always energizes my spirit, soul, and body, I must say, and I hope that it will be a blessing to people, to the listeners also.
And your mountain seems so tall, and you breathe
participant with a question can raise their hands. I will get the microphone to them. The participant who requested the question. Okay, if there are none right now, you can interact with them post-lunch. So now we will be playing another video message received for the summit. Mr. Nagi, she's here with us. Just turn back towards us.
Well, my question is, what role does the digital security play in the face of economic development?
Hello. Yeah, to me, digital security plays a very important, very crucial role, because without security and reliability, there will be no financial growth or financial progress. Thank you.
So the question is, given the fast pace towards an increasingly digitized ecosystem, so don't you think there's still a general lack of awareness and need of knowledge transfer around digital security?
Yeah, your question is correct, and it's very important, as I mentioned, collaboration. Technology is one part. When we talk about implementation, knowledge is very important part. Without knowledge, things will not move. So in the entire digital transformation journey which we talk about, the entire ecosystem has to get that knowledge. So when we also do the implementation, one of the most important thing which we conduct is the knowledge sharing which we do with all the stakeholders. Take their inputs also, take them along with for the entire implementation cycle. So that is a very important thing which is relevant to implement any kind of services. I hope I have been able to answer your question. Okay, thank you. And just want to add on the previous question on the security part of it, how important it is for the financial growth. So as he has mentioned it well, so only thing is like if there is no security parameter in the entire system, the trust will not be there. Without trust, nothing will move. So security imparts the trust factor. It makes us feel comfortable using any services. Because one of the important act which government is also pushing is on the privacy thing. So that is a very important thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shri.
Okay, so sir, I would like to ask you, what advice would you give to young entrepreneurs to set up and start their business successfully? Thank you.
In Nagaland context, don't give a shit to your parents. You have to forgive my language, why I'm using that is last month there was an exam called Nagaland Staff Selection Board exam, which advertised for about 480 posts, I think, and around 60,000 youth applied, and a number of leading private schools in Kohima had to close because the majority of teachers went to apply for that exam. And here in Nagaland, your parents, your family, your church, your friends, your whole society will force you to get a government job. If not, you will be considered unemployed till you have 3-4 kids. And so, if you want to do business, please don't listen to your parents, unless if they tell you to do business. Everybody cannot do business, but if you want to do business, you read books on business. You read about Bill Gates, you read about Elon Musk, you read about Mukesh Ambani, you read about Tatas, you read about Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you read a host of books. You can read about Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. You can read about George Clayton's book, The Richest Man in Babylon. Bombard yourself till you are fully brainwashed with business. And if you can do that, you will become billionaire. I'm only 50 years of age, but I am a social entrepreneur. 2016, I became the 7th recipient of the Social Entrepreneur of the Year for the country. And I am not a businessman. Only this year, because I turned 50, I am going to give 50% of my time for my own business. Because at the time of 75 years of age, when I retire, I want to have at least a pension of about 20 crores a month. And this might increase, and I want it to increase. But with government job, it's impossible. And of course, I was never wanting to take a government job. But the only option for me now, I am 50, I have to build a business. So I am going to be less of a social entrepreneur from now on, and I'm going to be more of an entrepreneur from now on. So if you young guys who want to be in business, remember, your parents may have the best intention for you, but they may not have the best solution for you for your future. So think, if you want to do business, brainwash yourself, and don't believe that by relaxed life you can achieve. Impossible. You know what Jack Ma said? 996, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. hard work, 6 days in a week. But you know what many business people do? They work minimum 16 hours a day. So if you want to do business, no Naga wedding, no auntie, uncle funeral or birthday services. You have to get on your feet and work. If you work, you will become rich. And when you become rich, you will make Nagaland and India rich. And that is what you young people should be doing. And I'm very happy that some of you are interested in business. I tell you, life is not the same for people who are in business and for people who want only government job. Nothing wrong in wanting to have a government job. But I'm telling you, you need to dream bigger than government job. And that is why, have a good life. I have rubbed shoulders with billionaires. Mind you, in New York, a billionaire invited me to his house for dinner. And a billionaire's house and a government house in Kohima is very different. Choose billionaire. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My question is for Mr. Arun, and same question for Ma'am Kavita. I would like to know, since Nagaland is well endeared with lots of talent and lots of young people are interested in starting up their own business, I would like to know how and through what mode can the World Bank or the Indo British Business Forum come in to assist the youth of the state to make and create a vibrant economy in the state.
Thank you. In fact, this is what I'm here for, to discuss these opportunities. So, as I was saying earlier, all the young people sitting here, skilling is an issue, and especially job-related skilling. Skilling that results in employability. So, the digital space is where we are looking at in providing. So there are private companies, you heard the gentleman earlier, that are doing so many things. State data centers, cybersecurity, and a lot of digital services, including coding, that you can do remotely from here. So you don't need to attend a 4-year engineering course to learn coding. You can learn it in a couple of months. So that kind of focus on job-oriented skilling is the call for the hour, because our curriculum, the way it is decided by AICTE or UGC, it takes a long time to change and things get obsolete by the time you learn them. So that is something that we are hoping to do, and I'll be sharing some proposal with the Honorable Advisor, with the Principal Secretary, in fact we were just talking about this. So there are enough opportunities, and that's what we'll explore, and given the vast youth that is there in the state, we're hopeful that this will be a center for attracting, in fact, skill and talent from other states to come to Nagaland and not the other way around.
Thanks. I'll tell you my story. I went to England, got married, went to England, like a typical Punjabi story. I started this IBBF in 2007. In 2022, we have IBBF Energy, IBBF Power, IBBF Infra, IBBF EV. So come with an idea, we'll help you with the funds. If you have any idea, any business, we have associates who are looking for talent, come to us, we'll fund the project. Thank you.
On behalf of the Department of Information Technology and Communications, Government of Nagaland, would like to thank all the subject experts, resource persons for sharing their valuable ideas, knowledge, and their experience, and the opportunity lies ahead of all of us. Shall we give a big round of applause for the wonderful resource persons that deserve another round of applause. Thank you so much for your presence, and thank you for your wonderful sharing your wonderful ideas. I also would like to take this opportunity to thank all the participants from various colleges, press, media, partners who have come to witness the 8th edition of this e-Naga Summit 2022. I want to thank each and every one of you on behalf of the Department of IT&C, Government of Nagaland. The Department of IT&C will seriously carry forward the ideas shared in this e-Summit, and we will definitely carry forward the knowledge and the innovative initiative that has been shared in this e-Summit for further course of action in the days to come. Without wasting much time, I would like to thank each and every one of you once again for making this e-Naga Summit a grand success. It is because of all of you this 8th edition of e-Naga Summit is a grand success. Shall we all give another round of applause for the successful program that we have conducted. Lastly but not the least, I would like to end my words by wishing you, each and every one of you, an advance Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. Thank you all. May God bless you.